Okay, just to reiterate the kinds of stuff I shared with Tanya was that Bunny, I could tell, was very confused as to what was going on because I'd been away to Perth for 7 weeks. And then I came back and she didn't want to bond with me, and then she did. And then I took her away on the romantic getaway to Nindari. And then she had the teeth out, which I had no idea that was going to happen. And that was the best choice at the time with the vet. And then I pretty much then had to go away, and my sister, who she adores, was also away. So I'm like saying to Tanya, I'm really concerned about her emotionally because my parents said that she was really struggling. I then convinced my sister to say, hey, let Bunny sleep over at your house now. And then I had all my small feelings come up about envy and jealousy over the fact that Bunny loves her more than me and all that ridiculous stuff, which I'm kind of through today. But yesterday I was really in that kind of, oh my God, I pushed for it and then I didn't want it to happen. But that's just like when people break up with somebody and they want them to be happy, but then they get triggered when they find out they're with somebody else. It's called being human, isn't it? Yeah, not ascended. So, Tanya, what went on with the old Bunny?
Well, when I first tuned into her, she was in a lot of pain, especially a lot of emotional pain and confusion. One of, I think, the biggest confusions for her is during the day she was over at your sister's. At night she was back in your old bedroom. There was a sense there that she didn't really know where she belonged. And there was a sense that there was abandonment there. Bunny's had quite a few moves in her short period of life since you've had her as well. Obviously, you were down in Hobart and then moved to Brisbane, and you'd moved a couple of times there. So that is what came up, is the confusion of to where her house is now. She felt very unsettled. When I worked with her, it was very much reintegrating to her that this is her new home now. This is where she is to live. And it's not to say that you were not going to have any kind of connection with her, that you would come and go into her life. And with that, I automatically felt a sense of relief for her, as she had an understanding. I suppose it's just like a child. When you're actually explained to a child or even an adult what's going to happen, there's more of an understanding rather than sort of left to go, okay, what do I do now? She was in a fair bit of pain with her teeth and her gums. So I actually had run some programs around that as well. And just for her, the sheer not able to understand that all of a sudden, you know, she's been able to eat and have teeth to, you know, teeth missing now. So we worked with that as well. And that seemed to settle her energy as well. So we went from, when I first tuned into her, she was very anxious and highly strung, to, I feel a lot better now. She totally understood from your perspective that sister becomes her owner, yet she still has you in her life that's going to come and go. And we can play with that as well to adjust to that, so that she hasn't left you forever, or you haven't left her forever. So we deal with the abandonment and rejection issues just like you would a human. You know, it's like all of a sudden, wow, who's this? So that's basically where she's sitting at the moment. And she seems a lot happier, and she seems a lot more content now that she's actually able to stay over there on a full-time basis rather than coming and going, because that was actually quite unsettling for her as well.
How's her... how do you feel about her getting all her teeth out? Apparently she had a really strong gum disease from a virus, and the vet, who's a holistic vet, Dr. Gary Bright, amazing, he said if she was my cat, I would take all her teeth out, because that way we can arrest this, because as you know, Devon Rexes have this real issue with their gum. See, that's something I don't have. I don't have gum issues. So that's something Arpie had, and it's something she's got, and then I understand that it's really in the breed because I don't have any gum problems.
Yeah, look, there are two ways to look at that as well. When something happens in the body, it doesn't necessarily manifest exactly the same way. If we talk even about a human coming to me, they might present with headaches, yet I never work with the head. I will work with something else, and that may be the liver or the kidneys or the stomach. It's the same as an animal. Yes, it's in the breed, yet what's activating that through the breed?
He felt it was liver.
How does that react? And then how does that link to the owner? So if we look at the gums and we look at the teeth are the thing in the body, especially as we get older, are the only thing that the cells can't rejuvenate. If we look at the gums and the inflammation, so if we look at gum disease, it's still about inflammation. If we look at how that's reflected from your arthritis, again, it's still about inflammation. So we still can make that connection to go, well, what's going on to activate this in the animal? What's even going on in the human to activate that through what's, so there is a key. To me, there's still a key there. There has to be.
Yeah, and for me, he felt that it was very much her holding stuff about my liver. And I also was in a situation where that was like on the Wednesday. I was leaving on the Monday. I was in this predicament where he was like, well, if she could get off 100% dry food, because he's anti-dry food for all animals. And I, of course, now that she's living with my sister and her cats and they've got dry food, you know what I mean? It was a really difficult situation to be in. And I felt like I made the best decision at the time. He felt that it will be, like, do you think it's an ongoing issue with her gums now, even though she's only got 4 teeth? Or do you think that, it's done and dusted?
It's always hard to say. My sense, if I really sense into that, it would be that it feels like it's done and dusted. It feels like there may be a little bit of an issue there if something triggers that, but really I don't think it will. And I think, I feel that things have settled down more with her, and I feel that she's eating better for her body as well, and that's a big thing. So her gut health, so even on saying that, as I even feel into that now, her gut health is improving, and that's possible because mine is. Gut health improves, that's going to improve her liver. It's also going to improve her gums,
and that's a reflection of my gut health improving.
Well, yeah, exactly. Okay,
then. So, at the end of the day, does Bunny still love Mummy?
She does, definitely.
I love Bunny. Gee, it's hard. I miss her.
And that bond is never going to change. My mind goes very much back to Arpie, and when I communicated with Arpie towards the end, when he was ready to leave this world, one of his messages was, it's for you to be free to do what you need to do now. And this is a way that you can do that. You can still have a bond with Bunny, yet not have to be tied down to her. And I think for your journey, that's a very big piece of the puzzle. So you still have this relationship with her, you still have an animal, yet you're out there doing what you need to be doing. And that was a very, very strong, clear message that came through with Arpie towards the end of his life.
I feel as if he's kind of orchestrated this in many ways. Yeah. And the truth is, Bunny is having an amazing life with my sister and her cats. She's got her own private veranda, you know what I mean? Like, it's not a good life for her. She's got so much sun, so much love.
Yeah, and your sister is going to treat Bunny similar to how you treated Bunny.
That's it.
You know, do the best for her and give her the best, you know, and treat her like royalty, the same as what you did with Arpi. Yeah, so I think she's got the best of both worlds.
That's great. And so
that connection is still going to be there. That connection can't change. And, you know, if we look energetically, we can always be around people. You know, it's the same as if we lose someone who passes. You know, you still have them because you still have them in your heart. You still have that connection. And, you know, the mind is a very tricky thing. You know, as soon as you imagine her and see her in your mind, you feel her. So she's technically still there with you. Can't not be.
Oh, thanks, babe. I just feel, a relief that she's, it's ultimately, it's about her being absolutely happy and profoundly looked after. And it's just up to me to feel the feelings of missing and aloneness without her and, you know, all that sort of thing. But I feel that Arpi is really a part of this because I know, as you say, he wanted me to be free. I think he chose Bunny for me anyway because I think eventually he knew this would happen. Because as we know, Arpi lives on in me and Arpi likes adventure, so he wants me to take him everywhere.
And if you look at it, Bunny came to you at a time when you were grieving Arpi. So, you know, in that sense, she never replaced Arpi, yet she filled the gap.
Yeah.
And, you know, as humans, when we start to learn to deal with our emotions and our pain, then we're able to move on from that. And I feel that she cannot be. If we look at it, we are always in the right place at the right time, doing exactly the right thing. Even if we think we're not, we always are. We can't not be. And she's exactly meant to be where she is. How do we know that? Because that's where she is. How do we know that you're doing what you're doing? Because you're doing it. So we're always in the right place at the right time, doing exactly the right thing. We can't not be.
Word up, Tanya Murphy. I'm going to put your details so that people can find you because you can work with people energetically through Skype and all sorts of programs. She's got it going on, this woman. So I'm going to put her...
there's a few little tricks in my bag that I have. So, everybody and every animal that comes to me, I don't necessarily always work in the same way. It's an individual thing. It really is an individual thing of how I work with somebody or an animal when I actually come in contact with that person or that animal. So
great, darling. So next week we'll come back before you go to Canada and we'll do Bella.
Cool, beautiful.
That'd be
Look
great.
Forward to that one.
Okay, darling. Bye.
Bye.